What if Tanjiro knew Hinokami Kagura from the start? How would this impact the story? Stay till the end to find out.
So in the original story, Tanjiro would remember how to use hinokami kagura in his fight against Rui. But this time around, he would never lose his memory of hinokami kagura. The series starts as original with Muzan killing Tanjiro's family and converting Nezuko into a demon. Tanjiro, thinking Nezuko was just injured, would carry her, and on his way, Tanjiro would encounter Giyu and attack him like in the original. But this time around, he would use hinokami kagura to attack Giyu. Giyu would still be able to dodge the axe, albeit with greater difficulty. Giyu would be really surprised by Tanjiro's strength and speed, and even more surprised by the fact that Nezuko, a demon, was protecting him. In this scenario, we are not considering Tanjiro to be a master of hinokami kagura, but just remembering how to use it from the start. At this time, Tanjiro can only use hinokami kagura for short bursts before passing out, so after throwing the axe he passes out. After Tanjiro wakes up, Giyu would send Tanjiro to Urokodaki. Tanjiro would arrive at Urokodaki's place and kill the demon. Urokodaki would start training Tanjiro, but this time around he wouldn't focus on teaching Tanjiro water breathing, but focus more on increasing his stamina and physical capabilities, as hinokami kagura requires a lot of stamina and lung capacity. In the original timeline, Urokodaki trains Tanjiro for 1 year, but in this reality he trains him for 1 year and 6 months because Tanjiro would need to enhance his physical attributes by a lot, as even in the original, Tanjiro couldn't even fully utilize hinokami kagura in the Entertainment District arc. After 1.5 years, Tanjiro would easily slice the boulder in half, without ever requiring Sabito and Makomo's help, and hence he would never know about their existence. With the 6 months left in the final selection, Urokodaki would teach him total concentration breathing constant, as it would greatly help him increase lung capacity. He would master in about a month. With 5 months still left, Tanjiro would train on his own and focus on increasing his lung capacity. He would go to Mount Fujikasane for the final selection and would easily kill the hand demon and basically every other demon. He would be the first to finish the final selection, even faster than Inosuke, as he would be as strong as his original counterpart fighting against Daki. After getting his Nichiren blade, Tanjiro would be assigned his first mission, where he would easily kill the swamp demon. Next up, he would encounter Muzan, and it will go relatively the same, ending with him meeting Tamayo and killing the 2 demons Muzan sent to kill him. On his next mission, he would meet with Zenitsu and Inosuke, and everything would go the same as in original, except Tanjiro killing the drum demon with no difficulty. They will all rest and head to Mount Natagomo the next day. Zenitsu's fight with the spider demon would go the same, with him killing it and getting poisoned in the process. Initially, Tanjiro and Inosuke's fights would be the same with them killing the spider mom demon, but things would change once they meet the spider father demon. Tanjiro would instantly kill it, shocking Inosuke, who could not even scratch the demon using his blade. Inosuke would get really jealous, and after meeting Rui he would, without thought, attack him. In response, Rui would try to attack him back, but Tanjiro would intervene, saving Inosuke, making him even more annoyed and jealous of Tanjiro's strength. Tanjiro would beat Rui with mid-difficulty, even before Shinobu and Giyu arrive. Nezuko would stay in her box for the whole arc, unlike in the original, but Shinobu would still be able to sense her, as Hashira are known to have really keen senses and can detect demons from afar. She would instantly attack thinking she is just a demon, but Tanjiro would be there to protect her. Shinobu would be really confused as to why Tanjiro is protecting a demon and would fight him, in hopes to kill Nezuko. Like in the original, Kasugai crows would deliver Kagaya's message and halt the fighting between them. Tanjiro would sustain minor injuries from prolonged use of hinokami kagura with his fight against Shinobu and Rui. They would be presented in front of Kagaya as in original, with the same events happening except Tanjiro headbutting Sanemi even harder, gaining more respect from the Hashira. All 4 of them would be sent to Butterfly Mansion to heal and train. Originally they healed in 3 weeks, but this time around Tanjiro would heal in 1 week with Inosuke healing in 2, as both of them way less injuries than in the original series. Zenitsu, on the other hand, would still heal in 3 weeks. Inosuke and Zenitsu would learn total concentration breathing constant, just like in the original, but this time around Inosuke would be very motivated and learn it in lesser time. Tanjiro, having it already mastered, would spar with Kanayu and Shinobu. Inosuke would join them later after completing his respective training. Tanjiro would be a lot stronger than in the original series. He would be almost as strong as his pre-Yorichi Type 0 training counterpart in the Swordsmith Village arc. Inosuke would be a little stronger than in the original as well. Meanwhile, like in the original, Muzan would kill all the lower moons, except Inmyu, and give him more of his blood and order him to kill Tanjiro. After Zenitsu completely heals, they would all join Rengoku in the Mugen Train. Tanjiro would again ask him about the hinokami kagura and would still receive the same response as in the original. Inmyu would put all of them to sleep and events same as the original would transpire. Tanjiro and Inosuke would go on to fight against Inmyu, whereas Rengoku, Zenitsu, and Nezuko would protect the passengers. Tanjiro, despite being a lot stronger, would have difficulties fighting against Inmyu due to his blood demon art. He would still kill Inmyu with Inosuke's help, but this time without getting injured in the process. Akaza would show up like in the original and attack Tanjiro. Rengoku would protect Tanjiro and start fighting Akaza. This time around, as Tanjiro is not injured and way stronger than his canon counterpart, he would join the fight. Both Rengoku and Tanjiro would fight against Akaza. They would fight just like how Tanjiro and Tenjin fought against Gyutaro, with Tanjiro providing support and Rengoku being the main attacker. Akaza would attack them fiercely, injuring both of them and offer Rengoku to become a demon. Akaza would push Tanjiro to the brink of death. Just before Akaza was about to deal the finishing blow, Tanjiro would awaken his Demon Slayer mark. Akaza would be shocked by the newly acquired speed and strength of Tanjiro. Tanjiro would be able to land some hits on Akaza with the help of Rengoku. During this time, Rengoku would also unlock his Demon Slayer mark due to the presence of Tanjiro. The fight would be a lot more even now, but Akaza would still have the upper hand. Both of them would be able to stay alive till dawn. Just before the sun would rise, Akaza would run and flee from the battle. Both Tanjiro and Rengoku would sustain some major injuries and would be rushed to the hospital. Inosuke would be watching the whole fight from the sidelines and would feel greatly ashamed, as he was really weak and couldn't even hold a candle against the two. He would be the one to carry Rengoku and Tanjiro to the Butterfly Mansion to get them treated. He would start training and push himself even harder to get stronger. Just like after the Entertainment District arc, Tanjiro would go into a coma for 2 months. Rengoku would sustain injuries even greater than Tanjiro, as he was the main aggressor in the fight and took more hits from Akaza. He would be in a coma for about 3 months. Tanjiro would be greatly saddened by the state of Rengoku and push himself to train even when he was recovering from his injuries. After a month, Tanjiro would completely heal from his injuries and begin performing his duties as a demon slayer. At about the same time, Rengoku would wake up from the coma and everyone would be really delighted to see him. In the original series, Rengoku had promised the 3 young demon slayers to make them his Tsugako. After waking up, Rengoku would fulfill his promise and make all 3 of them his Tsugako. For the rest of the month, before the events of the Entertainment District arc, Rengoku would put the 3 demon slayers under hard and intense training. Inosuke would train the hardest, as he was really depressed and ashamed because he couldn't help Tanjiro and Rengoku in their fight against Akaza. After Rengoku woke up and was able to walk, a Hashira meeting was called, in which he told the others how he unlocked the Demon Slayer mark. After the Hashira meeting, Rengoku returned to the Butterfly Mansion as he would be asked to rest to let his injuries heal. One day, Tanjiro and the others would be training under Rengoku in the Butterfly Mansion, when Tenjin will arrive and attempt to kidnap the girls. Rengoku would intervene, along with his students, and would recommend Tanjiro, Zenitsu, and Inosuke to go with Tenjin instead of the girls, so that they may test their powers. So guys, here is where we will be leaving today's What If. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified for our latest What Ifs.